Welcome back to my podcast. My name is Mary English. This is Learn Astrology with Mary, and Astro Mary is the name of the website. And last week we were talking about synastry charts, where you have your chart and then somebody else's chart. We stick all the way around the outside of it and see what the connections are. And that's very, very useful for knowing your relationship with someone else. So you're still two separate entities, but creating the synastry chart sort of creates the combined factors between the two charts. So everything that you share and have in the same signs will be evident, and also the things that you don't have will be evident. Now there's another way of making charts. I can't remember the name of the person that invented them or first talked about them. You'll have to Google it. But these are called composite charts. And this is slightly more complex and involves a bit of maths. Now, to make a composite chart, what you have is the birth data for two different people, so person A and person B. And then you have to use a computer to do it, because I couldn't do the maths, it'd drive me crazy. You need to find the midpoint between each planet. So say, for instance, your sun sign was 15 degrees Pisces, and the person that you're comparing was 15 degrees Cancer. Then you'd need to find the exact point between those two signs that will give you the midpoint, which will also be 15 degrees, by the way. And so if we were using Pisces and Cancer as our example, it would be 15 degrees Taurus. So if you look at, get yourself just a blank chart with all the signs of the zodiac on. So you've got the sign Pisces, you've got the sign Cancer. Well, the sign that's directly in between those two as a midpoint is Taurus. And so if person number one is you, person number two is the person you're dating, then the midpoint between the two of you would be 15 degrees Taurus. Now, why the hell would you want to create a composite chart? Well, a composite chart is useful in relationships because it gives you a teeny bit of an understanding of what would happen if the two of you, and it could be anything, it doesn't have to be romantic, by the way, if the two of you we're creating a whole new thing. Because I'm of the belief, and I don't know if you'd agree with this, but my belief is that when you have two people that come together, you have a new entity. So you're a normal person in your own right as an individual, but when you're in a relationship with someone, the two of you together, your two energies, your two personalities, create something else. The two of you together create a new entity, and this is what a composite chart represents. It's the exact, and it is mathematical, you have to use the computer to do it. It's exactly everything that's in your chart, the midpoint between yours and the other person. Now, aren't we lucky? Computers have made it easy for us, and the website that I've been teaching you on, which is astro.com, will not only do it for you, but will also produce an analysis free. Hurrah! How amazing is that? So, if you start out, go to astro.com, so www.astro.com, and then click on free horoscopes, scroll all the way across to extended chart selection under drawings and calculations, and click. Just have to wait a couple of seconds because my account has to sign in. Ping, there we go. So we're now on the extended chart selection page. You don't necessarily have to be on this page to create your composite chart, but we're going to do it the proper way, and we can give you the analysis of it afterwards. So where it says horoscope 4, choose person number A, and last we were using Queen Elizabeth II and Princess Diana. I'm going to continue to use those because I've already got them in my account. So we've got Queen Elizabeth, and then partner, not that she's a romantic partner, but there was a relationship between the two. Princess Diana, I think. What did I call it? Yes, I called her Princess Diana. So partner, so you've got horoscope 4 and then partner, choose your second person. Now where it says circular charts, chart type, click in there, and you want to scroll down, and let's make this easy. You want to use composite natals, Composite Chart Midpoint method. So last week we were using synastry chart in brackets number 2. The next one is synastry chart without it. Now you want Composite Chart Midpoint method. So what we're now going to create, and so this is combining your birth chart with person B's birth chart, and scroll down to house system, click on equal, and then ping, click here to show the chart. So in our chart example, the midpoints between Queen Elizabeth and Princess Diana produces, because if you remember, Queen Elizabeth is sun sign Taurus and Princess Diana is sun sign Cancer, the midpoint between the two of them is Uranus. Now you've got a totally different chart here, yeah? You've still got the Capricorn ascendant because it takes the midpoint of the ascendant as well. And Princess Di had a Sagittarius ascendant. The Queen's got a late degree to Capricorn, but they're midpoint there. So the chart, but for the two of them, so what happens when we have a whole new entity that is the energies of these two people? We've got a Capricorn ascendant, and we've got Sun in the 6th, Sun conjunct Uranus in the sign of Gemini. So Gemini's quite chatty, 6th house is about health and healing, but Sun conjunct Uranus is very erratic. That's, I was talking a few weeks before about what's his name, Trump, beg your pardon. Trump is Sun conjunct Gemini, so we've got a chart here that has that same energy. You know, that's not fluffy. And in the 6th house is about health. And then you've got the Moon in Taurus. That's interesting because the Queen is Sun Taurus. The Moon and Mercury conjunct. Now I could sit here for absolutely the next 20 minutes and waste your time and give you an analysis of it, but we don't need to do that. So go back up to free horoscopes, because you put your data in, and where it says, now we want to use not personal portrait, Astro Click. Here we go. So these are the interactive horoscopes. We haven't been on this part of the website before, and we need to click on so on free horoscope, scroll across, and it'll say Astro Click Partner. Okay, so that's what you want. Now when you get to that page, I don't know, yeah, it's already still got them in the two boxes that you've chosen, but if you get to that page and you've done it wrong, it'll say horoscope 4, so choose yourself, because obviously you want to compare yourself to someone else, and partner, do it to your partner. And now you've got a totally wonderful chart there. So this is an interactive horoscope which describes the potential of a relationship. It's the common chart of two partners. It's called Composite Chart, and it's based on 2 birth data. Just click on any part of the chart and interpretation of this element will appear. You can go on for hours. Now, astro.com will unfortunately use the Placidus house system, but don't fret too much. It gives you a vague idea. And if you click anywhere in the chart, it'll pop up, unless you haven't blocked your pop-ups. So we've got ascendant in Capricorn. Others see the depth and seriousness of this relationship for you as a couple. You tend consciously not to project a strong and self-contained image. So that's when the two of them were together and operating in the way of the Queen and her daughter-in-law. So that's the representation of it. But it's probably more illuminating if you do it romantically, you know, compare yourself with your partner. But it's not a comparison between you and them. It's you and them combined. If we were to stick you into some sort of liquidizer and blend you together and make you into this new entity. Now, the interpretations on there are written, I think they're written by Liz Green. Yes, they're Liz Green, so they're great. And you can click on any part of it, you know, the composite, in their case we've got composite Neptune in the sign of, does it tell me what the sign it's in? No, it's just in the 8th house. I don't think it gives it to you in the signs. Does it? Moon? Let's double check, hold on. Moon in the 4th. No, it doesn't give you the signs that things are in, just the moon. So it's only in the placements. I think that's right. Moon in the 4th. Clicked on the moon, read about the position. Surely it'll give you the interpretation of the sun. Here are me doing this live, and I naughty. Sun in the 5th. Sun in the composite chart. It's not going to give you in the signs of. Okay, but you will have learned already if you've been paying attention, what each sign of the zodiac, the sun in that sign, means. So you can use a little bit further analysis, but that'll keep you going for quite a while. Lots of info on there. And their composite chart, we got Saturn in the 12th. Saturn is the planet of responsibility, retrograde in the 12th. That's not a particularly happy placement, and their relationship was pretty much a bit of a struggle. They've also got Jupiter opposition Pluto, so that's about belief and stuff, so that's still a bit of a conflict. But yeah, with everything in astrology, you can look at the positives or the negatives. Try not to think too much about negatives when you do composite charts. But what you've done there is that when you've made that composite chart between you and person B, could be anybody, it's what would happen if the two of you were united and a whole new person was created between the equal amounts of what you've got. And it is an interesting thing to be looking at, and to help you have an understanding of the dynamic between the two of you together. Now, remembering, of course, that you with person B is going to be different from you and person C. So, you know, say you've got a partner and then you have a child, your relationship between you and your child is going to be different. Everything's different. And the nice thing about a composite chart is it's a whole new entity. It's not you versus them. It's if the two of you were combined as a combined force. So sometimes people can be in relationships, but they'd be rubbish to be in a relationship and running a business together. Okay, so they just need, but other people are fantastic running a business together. And so having a composite chart and an understanding of where you're at when the two of you are working together doing something. Yeah, so if you're going to go into business partnership with someone, I definitely recommend that you do a composite chart, because you're going to be the two of you together creating something. Yeah, and there's the thing to consider as well, that when you're in a relationship with someone, you might not actually spend loads of time with them. You might not talk about us and them. You might be two separate entities. Goodness me, Aquarius does that all the time. I've got an Aquarius sister who hates being known as her and the partner. She's herself, yeah. So it depends how freedom loving and orientated you are. But then some people really enjoy being in relationships, and they would talk about themselves, you know, in the sort of, what was it, Queen Victoria's, my husband and I, you know, as if they were the two of them together, an entity in their own right. You know? So composite charts will give you an illumination on that. I hope you've enjoyed this teeny little lesson today. And we've gone to a different section of astro.com to get that information and the analysis on there. There is another interpretation it will give you. You've got Astro Click Partner, and you've also got Astro Click Love. So either of those are useful for you to compare with someone else. And we'll next week, and what was I thinking earlier, we need to do a bit of a recap. We've done 20 something lessons now, and I am going to go back to the beginning and run through and you know, things that we've done, just to make sure that you're square and understanding of certain aspects, that not aspects, but certain parts of astrology that are important to know. So next week's a bit more of a coaching lesson. So I hope you have a fab week, and I'll speak to you soon. Bye bye now.